The first thing that came to mind when working on the audio essay was Tiesto's Adagio for strings. Since there are 4 different well-known adaptations, I initially decided to break my essay into 4 equal parts, starting with Tiesto's, then doing background on Samuel Barber's original, and finishing up with William Orbit transitioning into Ferry Corsten. In this draft Audacity file, we can clearly see that the essay is uniform, and we have musical intros in each section, starting with Tiesto, the original, William Orbit, and Ferry Corsten. Each version was then followed with a background description here, 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 and here. There was also initially a short NPR clip.
But what makes it great is that beneath all this emotion is one of the most clearly calculated, strongly simple, and direct constructions of any piece.
And then we got our drafts back with feedback from Dan. The progression of the essay was reworked in order to focus more on the idea of Barber's original version being considered a classic piece. The second section that gave background on Barber's Adagio was then completely cut out, reworked and expanded in order to draw the main focus of the essay to the fact that Barber set the precedent for all of these other tracks to work with. The final version would feature very similar endpoints with respect to Tiesto's background and the Orbit Corsten transition, but the expansion in the Barber section included 2 new audio clips, one from his biographer which talks about the impact of his Adagio.
Everybody knows the Adagio, even if they don't know the name of it or who wrote it. They recognize it as soon as they hear it as this elegiac, wonderful piece of music.
And one from an interview with Barber that shows his frustration with the Adagio's popularity.
You stayed in a town near Salzburg. Did you do any composing while you were there? Yes, I wrote my Adagio for strings there. Oh yes, well that was your best known work, I should think. As a matter of fact, it's the very first composition of yours I ever heard. I wish you'd hear some new ones. Everybody always plays that.
The concept of Barber's piece being a classic was also supported throughout that segment with Adagio's ties to famous personas. Barber's Adagio has seen its popularity elevate to the degree of classic consideration, and has been widely used as a display of grieving solidarity, as it was played at Ground Zero, as well as the funerals of JFK, Princess Grace, and Albert Einstein. The last step was to adjust the sound of the underlying track so that they wouldn't overwhelm the narration. So with the help of this envelope tool, I was able to adjust the frequencies of each track and make it an appropriate backdrop for the actual essay. Once that project was completed, basically all that was left to do was upload it to SoundCloud. And as a final product, I ended up with a 4.5-minute audio essay on the history of Adagio for strings.